Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit for all of you. Okay. So, hello, decidedly. Welcome. Harold, thank you for hosting. As always, appreciate that, my friend. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave Lego, the site, the moat in the chat, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to tweak my settings because I do not enjoy what's going on with my chroma right now. Did you say big fan? Yes, indeed. I have a large fan that runs pretty silently that points at me to cool me down because I try to keep my windows closed when I'm streaming to reduce the street noise because both my windows face the street. Um, and I have these lights on so that I can see what's going on and also so that my green screen works. Now, unfortunately, uh, I did tweak some stuff there. Well, that's gonna help some. Yeah, that looks better. And maybe we can take the contrast down a little bit here. Okay, that's better. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. So I played around with some of my settings, and I don't love all of them. We'll go to the overhead, and I have to remember to turn the thing off. Um, if you out there ever think about, I'm referring to you being a big fan. Well, Harold, I appreciate that. I also have a big fan, but I also appreciate you. Hello, Aristophan. Welcome, welcome. Um, so the thing that I am trying to be okay about, and I gotta get into it, is if you out there, you ever think about doing a stream that uses two webcams, like if you want to do a build stream, you ever want to do something like that, don't get the same webcam. Don't get two of the same webcam. Don't make the mistake that I've made, which is I have two C920s. They're great from Logitech. You know what? They're a great camera for what they are, for what I need. They're exactly what I need, right? Other people probably need something a little better. Some people have gone to DSL LRs and they're trying it that way, and that's cool for them. Good, more power to them. For me, what I need, what I'm looking for, this has got it. I like it. But the problem is Logitech is like, oh, you have a webcam. And it knows I have two webcams. But when I make adjustments to one webcam, I'm making adjustments to the other uh, in the Logitech software. Now, in OBS, I can say, well, this webcam above me, don't autofocus, but this webcam in front of me, autofocus. Like that. I can do that. But I can't have that happen on the software level for Logitech because if I say don't autofocus, neither will autofocus. And so I have to manually check that. Hi, Jam, welcome. I have to check that every stream. And it is, let me tell you, annoying. And I didn't do it today because I was running around with a bunch of other things. I apologize. I didn't get to it. Yeah, so it's a weird problem to have. So I would say if you ever going to start using more than one webcam in your personal or professional works, get two different webcams because that way you can really modularly control them. Um, so that means sometimes I just forget to turn off autofocus on the overhead one because I never want to not have autofocus on this one. It's a weird problem to have. Hi, Lashbrook. Welcome, welcome. Let's go to the over. Speaking of which, let's go to the overhead. Let's fix our thing. We're gonna fix our auto zoom problem. I posted a link. Hey, Solf, welcome. Oh, we got a great crew here already. Hell yeah. I posted this. Okay, so I'll focus off. Great, great, great. Okay, and then let me go and make sure that I'm looking. You know what? I think this looks okay. I look all right. Um, and I'm going to go and configure this. Let's look at that. Okay, it looks okay. Yep, doing what I want to do. Okay. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with how I'm looking right now on the green screen. And when I move my arms, we're getting some issues here. So hopefully that's going to be okay. I'm going to go in and do a quick little adjustment here. Yeah, all right. I'm not loving where I'm at here. So I'm going to do a little bit. Decidedly's asking me, hey, Pat, have you told your mom how to tag people on Facebook yet? No. She's on date. Here's the thing. For those, I tweeted about this. My mom is doing a 10 photos, 10-day challenge on Facebook where she is Let's see. Nope. And nope. And better. Okay, that's better. It's not great. It's not great right now. Let's turn down the brightness a tad. Maybe that'll help. That's better. Okay. Um, so my mom is doing this thing. We're just gonna live with it, folks. If this is a problem, we'll deal with it in due time. But I think it'll be okay. My mom is doing this thing. Okay, and well, we got ourselves. Yesterday we had two people we had to ban. One who was spammer, and one who was just a a jerk. And we already had our first spammer of the day. Weird. Okay, yeah. So my mom is doing this Facebook thing, but she's not. She's supposed to be tagging people. That's the idea, right? Is you post a photo, you give it a little context if you want, and then you say, "I challenge this person to do the 10-day, 10 photo challenge. Photo a day for 10 days." Okay. My mom is doing that, but she's not tagging people, so they don't know that she's mentioned it. So unless they just on their own come across her post, they don't know they're being challenged. And I have not told her how to do that because I am, in my own way, helping people, some of whom I don't know, because I am making sure that they don't have to do this. Um, because they don't need this. They don't need that in their lives. Another challenge from my mom. Come on. Come on, mom. She means well. And also, she posted a couple photos that I don't have digitally, so now I have them. That's pretty fun. She scanned a bunch of photos at some point, apparently. Hey, you might. Some heroes don't wear capes. Yes, thank you. You may have not been here on Monday when we started this kit at the end of the stream. Man, I do not enjoy how I'm looking right now. I apologize. I'm gonna just get over it. Smooth this down a little bit, maybe. No, no, yeah, yeah. I'm not loving how I'm looking in this green screen, so I apologize for that. I'm going to spend a silly amount of time on Saturday fretting about this. I'm now convinced myself that on Saturday I'm going to get set up early and do this. I really want this kit. Yeah, so let's talk about this kit. You may have missed us starting it. I got some work done. The only thing about this kit that sucks, because it's a phenomenally weird, strange high grade, is that the toes are not sticker. The toes don't look like this. The feet themselves don't look like this. This is a lie. These feet are a lie. It does have feet, but the feet are this color. The feet are the same color, plastic wise, as the legs, and that is a just a huge bummer. So this photo is uh, show accurate, but not build accurate, and that is really annoying. Um, it is very frustrating to me that this is how things are. Because I would love for this to look exactly like it looks in there, and it doesn't. So that's unfortunate. Oops. Yeah, let's bring that back. Otherwise, this is a great weird kit. Yeah, I mean, like I want to be yellow and red. Look, you could I paint this? Someone could. It probably won't be me. Is it still going to be a good weird kit when it's done? Yeah, of course. This is still going to be a good, wonderfully weirdo kit that I'm very excited to put together. But it could be even better than it is, and it is a bit of a shame that it is not exactly what I want it to be. That's all. That's really all. Um, but it's still a fascinating piece of nonsense. I got to see if any store has it in stock. So decidedly, I believe I bought this from um, Gundam Planet. I believe yes, I believe I picked this up from Gundam Planet. I don't know for sure if they still have it in stock, but I was looking to you know buy something strange, and so I ended up with this from them. Uh, and yeah, I mean, like it is a weird product of its time. And it's just got such a strange vibe to it. This goes like this. Goes like this. But if you haven't seen G Gundam, well, you have to go in with some understanding. One, it is the first of its kind to attempt to do what it is doing, which is that it is attempting to tell a different story than a traditional Gundam show. Its goal is to tell a more of a shonen approach to storytelling. It is attempting to tell a its own story using Gundams that is outside the main Gundam storyline, which had not been done before. Um, it is in many ways a fighting anime. It's a tournament anime. Uh, it tries to kind of redefine. And also, it's not just a tournament anime, like all good fighting anime. It is also telling a larger story that is taking place at the same time. Um, in many ways, it is very successful in what it's trying to do. I will always contend that Domon, the main character, the main pilot, is a fantastic Gundam pilot. He's one of my favorites. His story is fantastic. His portrayal, his highs and lows, his arc is great, and I will always be rooting for him. You get behind him. You want to see him succeed. He's fun and cool. Um, but but G Gundam is a fucking mess. It is such a mess of an anime. It is all over the place. Oh, I gotta tweet out that we're going. Oh, just do that. Let's go. Just do my retweet. Um, uh, it is a mess of a show. Um, uh, Saying that it is full of stereotypes is being uh nice because it is calling it racist and sexist is not too far away from reality and totally a reasonable belief in that show. Uh, there is a version of G Gundam that could exist that would be incredible, and it would have to be more nuanced than it is, and that's a tough sell for that show to be nuanced and character studies. Uh, as it is, you kind of have to let it wash over you. My AC got had spring-loaded hands, which made it very strange because I've never worked with screws or springs and model kits. Oh yeah. Now specifically um, to G Gundam, if you were going to build G Gundam kits, besides enjoying or not enjoying the anime, if you were like, I would like to build some of these kits, please know that all G Gundam master grades, all four of them, involve screws because it was 1995 and they were trying something. The feet are rubberized, the hands are rubberized, and it's weird. Sometimes they're plastic, most of the time they're rubber. But there are screws. There's screws at the waist. There are screws at the feet. There are the leg joints. It makes for kits that really do stand up without a stand. They are very durable kits, even the ones that are a little top heavy. Um, but the Shining Gundam ends up being a very posable, very cool uh, model kit that you can really have some fun with if you are into um, like posing and that sort of display. If you like doing battle scenes, you can do a lot with the G Gundam kits. They were trying to figure it out. Um, and I applaud that. But it is an odd era because those kits were never like redone. The closest thing is that I believe the Maxter has some parts of that kit reappear in Build Divers, and that only got a high grade. That never got a master grade. I have only built a few of the high grades, and I have built several of the master grades. I would like to eventually build more of the high grades from that show because they are pretty rad. Um, But yeah, but the show itself, you kind of have to, and you don't have to, but if you want to watch it, you pretty much need to let it wash over you. You have to go in saying, okay, well, this is a weird show, and I am looking forward to this weird show, and enjoying this weird show. And if you can do that, I think that you will like it. I mean, that's not to say that you have to ignore the issues that present themselves in it. Um, you don't have, you can go in and go like, oh man, she should be in this court. Like, uh, the noble Gundam is cool, but also a problem. Yeah. Oh, what if she was joined the court? What if this character was like this? What if one of our main characters wasn't a prisoner and murderer who is there seemingly against his will? What if the French guy wasn't just such everyone wasn't such a goddamn stereotype? Uh, Jesus, some real issues with that. Some real issues with that show. But also, as I said, some of it's really enjoyable. The Russian gentleman whose name escapes me because it's been a while for G Gundam. Uh, he murdered the wife of the Canadian Gundam pilot, and so the Canadian Gundam pilot, was only there to do that. Argo, yes. The Bolt Gundam's pilot, yes. Uh, so he's there. Basically, he's in a tournament against his will. And it's a lot. There's a fucking lot. Uh, there's definitely a gut there. I will give the credit for it. There's a Gundam pilot who basically like doesn't want to do it, and his government is corrupt, and he's only doing to like take care of his family, but he's not a good Gundam pilot and doesn't want to be in the tournament. So like Domon like quote unquote kills him so he can fake his death. Uh, the Bolt Gundam is great, decidedly. So I have a soft spot for the Gundam Spiegel because it's a ninja Gundam, and that's nonsense. It's a German ninja, and that doesn't make any sense. But the Master Gundam is the best. Here's the thing. The Master Gundam is an evil ass Gundam. If you see that thing and you don't think, the guy that pilots this is a bad guy, and then you're like, well, that's Master Asia. You're like, yeah, okay, well, Master Asia is a bad guy. Also, a horse controls a Gundam Pegasus, or a mobile suit Pegasus. I don't know. I don't know if that's a Gundam, but it's a mobile suit Pegasus controlled, and that doesn't make any sense, and therefore is fantastic. There's so much about that show that is wonderful, and so much about that show that is awful, and it somehow is all of those things and more. And I appreciate it for being nonsense very, very much. Horse Gundam pilot, yeah. It's just nonsense. I just love how nonsensical it is. It's just good nonsense. Oops. Put it on there. All right. All right, so we're building out our legs here. Yeah, it is a mess of a series, but it is an enjoyable one. I did my Baering the List. I've been ranking Toonami videos, and I got to the one I did that'll be out next week. I talk about G Gundam showing up in Toonami and how important or not important that was. Uh, because in America, we got G Gundam after Gundam Wing, even though it came out before. I also got to talk about the worst rated Gundam series ever in Japan. I believe till this day, no show has ranked worse, and it actually ranked worse than Gundam X, which should tell you something because Japan universally was just like, we do not want Gundam X. Also, the other evil Gundams are just designed gone wild. Yeah, I mean, we're looking. Look, we are looking at a Gundam that most of this Gundam is a head. It is just like it's a Gundam popping out of the head of a Gundam. It's a whole lot of a whole lot. And I love it very, very much. All right, I have to make sure they don't really do a lot of like, these are where the stickers go. You kind of have to know where they go. There's only 3 left. I don't know where that goes. So I'm trying to keep my eyes peeled to make sure I'm applying them. I know those 2 go there and those there. Where does this one go? I don't know where that circle goes. So I gotta make sure that I actually don't know where it goes. I'm looking now. As I said, they don't do. Okay, there it is. It goes on there. Okay, it goes in the chest piece. All right, I got it. I figured it out. The worst rated of all time is SD Gundam Force. SD Gundam Force is there have been plenty of chibi Gundam shows that appeal to kids, but no one liked Gundam Force. SD Gundam Force did, and part of it, apparently, part of the reason it did so bad is that it debuted on Toonami. It debuted in the U.S. It's the only Gundam show to debut outside of Japan. And I don't know if that's why Japan was like, no thanks, but Japan was like, no thanks. That show is not a national treasure. No, it is not. I appreciate that you like it, but no. I mean, I also don't enjoy any of the SD shows, but that one in particular is rough. I'm not I'm not predisposed to like those shows, so that's where my biases lie. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of what they're doing. Uh, but yeah, no, that might I believe that is still at the very least when it came out, it got lower ratings than Gundam X. Uh, yeah. Uh, and I've talked a lot on this stream about Gundam X. I don't need to get into it too much here, except that it is the worst part of Gundam X is that it came out after Gundam Wing. Because honestly, if Gundam X had come out after G Gundam, I think people would have given it a shot because they would have been like, "Oh, Silver Streak is hosting. Thank you very much, Silver Streak. I appreciate that. Thanks for the host." No, but I genuinely believe that the reason why Gundam X came out did so poorly is Wing was changing the game and changing it brought Wing brought in so many new fans and so much interest in Gundam that and then it follow up was uh, a real actual bridge between the wildness of like G and Wing, their own separate wildness, and um, it was basically like, well, like let's talk about the consequences of Gundam, and let's really tell our own interesting story, but also like we'll have new types, and we'll like, we'll be a will be in many ways a very traditional version of the show, and I think that the larger audience had been like, yeah, no, but you tried to you hooked us. You did it. You showed us you gave us Wing. You gave us a reason to get into Gundam. Don't go back on that. Uh, because that's what they did. They went back on it. Um, and I'm sure that was not their intention, but it certainly is the reality. Is that they were like, we're going to do this other thing. Silver Streak just subscribed. Can't stick around for long, but hope Pat and all are having a great night. Silver Streak, thank you so much. That's 7 months. We're going to hit the old applause here. Let's throw the Baer Cave like the sentiment in the chat and say thank you to Silver Streak for that. I appreciate it very much. Thanks for sticking in. Thanks for hosting. And thanks for subscribing, of course. Appreciate it very much. But yeah, I think that like future shows that were part of the main continuity did their best when they acknowledged that Wing had brought in an audience, a modern audience, a younger audience, um, an audience that thought of and because it was so popular, one of the things that happened with Gundam Wing was not only was it popular with new fans, it was also like nostalgic to people who had grown up with it, who like maybe didn't watch a lot of anime anymore. They were like, well, this isn't necessarily my Gundam, but like, oh yeah, Gundam. Like it was nice for people that had like grown, oh, moved past it and grown away from it. It was like nostalgic and lovely for them. So I think that show is Wing is so important, and then also obviously the cultural impact of Wing uh, being being on American television. Obviously, that is a huge thing, uh, and to many people means a lot uh, because it opens the door for people to check out Mobile Suit Gundam, 8th MS Team, and Gundam X, and not Gundam, G Gundam. As I said, folks, this is not show accurate. This kit is a high grade. Do I wish they included gold stickers and that this was red or orange or yellow? I should say yes. Is it a bummer that it's not, you know, identical to the photo? Certainly, but we're gonna work with what we got. Um, it is a bit of a shame that they don't do it. Also, like, yeah, this isn't white. It should be. This is a high grade. It's a 144 scale high grade. Uh, I would love this kit to be redone as an RE100. The RE100 line is meant for weird kits to save money in order to make weird kits happen that you otherwise wouldn't get, and that feels perfect for this particular project. Um, Decidedly says I need to rewatch G Gundam. I hear you. I respect it. Uh, as I said, you just have to go in with your expectations of what it is. Um, it could be a nostalgic watch. It also could be one where you're like, oof. It's a high grade and also 25 years old high grade. We've come a long way. Yes, Lashbrook. I mean, when we think about like the high grades that we've built pretty recently that are from build divers, the build diver high grades are just incredible as is, but compared to old high grades, they're remarkably fantastic, wonderfully detailed, like way more than you would expect to get from any of these kits. Um, they're like such a pleasant surprise. And then we're gonna look at this real grade that we're building next. Ooh, this is a good real grade. Uh, uh, like when you look at this real grade and the level of detail on that in a 144, I mean, obviously it's a different thing, but like, holy shit, the differences. Like even like the colors of these plastic, like this red just feels nostalgic to me. Like it just there's just like a feeling of this kit that is so I'm not good at describing it, but it just feels right. Um, What's an RE100? Okay, so decidedly, it's a pretty new thing. It is a non-graded thing. It's in the 1/100 scale, but they're not master grades. They're not master grades, but they're not high grades. They are an attempt to do bigger kits, older kits, weird kits that wouldn't have like a long production line because they're small production lines. And so sometimes they're like, oh, not a lot of detail in the legs, but a lot of detail on the head sculpture. Um, they're out there. I've done some of these on the streams. I haven't done them in a while, but they're generally for kits that like the Hama Hama. Like you're just not going to get that as a master grade. You're just not going to get it. So this is the best thing you can get. Is this one? Um, and there is a feeling of like, oh well, at least we got it to all of the RE100 line. I got my G40 finally, and it's like 4 sheets. Yeah, sometimes they are. I mean, this is 4 sheets, but obviously this is not a modern kit by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so This goes like this. It's going to go in like that. All right. And then this is going to go in that. And then just getting an idea of how this whole thing works. We're building I mean, look, the main thing is this kit doesn't make any sense. Uh, yeah, the RE100 is an interesting line. It's some stuff that just like sometimes it's like, hey, here's a kind of random uh, Zaku that like no, we don't know how many people want this, so it's going to be an RE100, and we'll get it done. That's how we're going to get this made. All right, let me get tweezers here. Um, because this kit is so weird, sometimes I'm looking at how these pieces go together, and I'm like, is this because this kit is old, or is it because this kit is weird? And the answer to sometimes is yes. Sometimes the answer is just yes. 13 sheets. Yeah. Sometimes a master grade you're going to get a lot, which I love. I think the only thing that really bones me out is when you have a bunch of pieces because it's like, oh, if you want to change this to an old version, we won't include instructions on how to do that. We will just give you some pieces that don't mean anything and are completely random. I'm just like, what? No, no, what? No. Get out of here. Give me the pieces I need. Oof. I'm definitely going to have to go with tweaking my mic settings and opening a window and having a fan going, an air like a window fan going on streams because this is not good. This is not sustainable. Yeah. Also because I'm going to move and I don't know where I'm going to end up. I did a virtual tour of an apartment today. It went all right. Hey, Dirty, welcome. Happy to have you here, my friend. Working on the old Devil Gundam. Uh, Look, you can understand why the dub of G Gundam doesn't call the second version of our main Gundam the God Gundam. Also, I believe that it retitles the Devil Gundam to be the Dark Gundam, if I remember correctly. I'm actually gonna look that up because I don't remember, but I believe that the dub of it calls it the the Dark Gundam. Uh, let's see here. Uh, it was the Dark Gundam in the English dub. Yes. Oh god, that thing looks so cool. Uh, honestly, it just looks so much cooler in the this. It looks fine for a high grade from 1995, but holy shit. Also, hey, here's a secret, guys. Uh, like I understand that it didn't work out, but it was originally they were calling it the Ultimate Gundam. And that feels like playing with fire, right? Like I understand it turned into the Devil or Dark Gundam. But they were like, we're going to build the Ultimate Gundam. What could go wrong? And it's like plenty of things go wrong. And guess what? They went wrong. A lot of shit went wrong. I mean, the show doesn't happen if this stuff doesn't go wrong, but like also, what the fuck? Don't call it maybe don't call it that. You're asking for trouble. Because it turns out the Ultimate Gundam doesn't want to do what you want it to do. I have played Gundam Battle Assault 2, and it uses all the American names. Oh no! Uh, I mean, look, here's the thing. Devil Cells, indeed. Here's the thing. Dark Gundam, it's not that bad, right? Calling it a Dark Gundam, it could be way worse than that, like, as far as translations. And then, like, Burning Gundam, Shining Gundam, like, it's like, okay. Like, all right, sure. I get why when you were making a dub in 2002, when you were producing a dub in 2002, why you would not call a robot god Gundam. I get that. I do get it. It's a disappointment in some ways to not call it that, but I get it. All right, so we got to put a sticker on A3, and then we can get rid of A. Oh boy, making some progress. I mean, like when you give a Gundam the power of self-recovery, self-replication, and self-evolution, I don't know what they expect to happen. Yeah, things go wrong. Yeah. Just anytime you're like, we made the most competent AI ever, and be like, oh, cool. Did you put fail safes in place? What? No. Oh, so it's going to turn on us, huh? Like every show, uh, yeah, every show that features like an AI that like it learns, it's self teaching itself, and you're like, cool. There needs to be somebody just being like, and we like made out like an off button, right? That it like doesn't have control of and can't evolve into not using. They're like, what? Oh, why would we need that? And it's like, because humans made it and humans are flawed. Like, even if the thing that we're making is perfect, it was still made by us and we are definitely fallible. Like, maybe we shouldn't, but you can't think about shouldn't because then you don't make the thing. If you start getting into coulda, shouldas, you have to jump right to we dids. Yeah. Just so you know, guys, if you didn't watch, and gals and others, uh, if you didn't watch uh, G Gundam, some shit happens. I mean, the main villain is a legitimately is. Uh, yes, yeah. In the first episode, he does hide in the Statue of Liberty to get the drop on. That's where he's hiding it. Yeah, it is. There's a lot going. Look, I told you, there's a lot fucking going on in that show, and everybody is a racial stereotype, except weirdly, Neo Japan. Domon is a full-fledged character that is not just a stereotype for some. It's weird, right? That the Japanese character, the Neo Japanese character, I'm sorry, is the character that is not a weird racial stereotype. Weird, huh? Real weird how that happens. Although, you might argue that the Chinese character, the new Chinese character, is somehow less racist problem uh, than perhaps Wei Fang is. Because oofa doofa, that guy's got some issues. All right, so this is gonna go here. Okay, so it goes like this. This is gonna go here. Yeah. Um, the instructions are not great. I will say that. Dirty wants me to hit that gong. Well, you know what? I'm going to hit that gong. Uh, give me more segues with lanky arms, though. Yeah, I don't hate it. Here's that gong. Thank you, Dirty, for redeeming. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm trying to get this piece in here, and it is being. It's not really like doing the best job of telling me where this needs to go. Oh, sorry, everybody. So this, yeah, sorry. These instructions leave a bit to be desired. So I am kind of just like going by what it looks like it wants me, where it looks like it wants me to put things, and doing my best, and I'm going to take my time with it because I don't want to mess anything up because it's not like I can go and figure this out later. All right, so this is going to go, so that goes here, and then this is the head part here. Where does that go? I mean, like I said, part of it is that this thing doesn't make sense. So, like, where the head goes is weird. Or death birds. Like, where the head goes is weird on this kit because it doesn't make any dang sense. Uh, so you just kind of like go with it and hope that you nailed it. So we'll add that here. Okay. All right. Okay. Whether they're like, yeah. Then this goes. This. Oops. Yeah. Nope. Hmm. Hmm. Just should snip in place. Sorry, I got quiet there. Occasionally, I got quiet when I'm just like very confused about a thing, and I'm like, did I miss a step? Did I miss a piece? Is this supposed to go in? Was I supposed to put this in before it snapped together? But that doesn't make any sense. This definitely looks like an after thing you would do. Because I don't know. Well, maybe it was me. All right, let me check this out here. I'm going to separate these. See if I can separate this without it causing a problem. Tool time. Use my part separators here. Various things. If you're wondering, this is an iFixit kit. Not an early version of the iFixit kits. They're much more detailed now, a lot more stuff. But this is a smartphone repair kit thing that I took out one of the spongers and replaced it with a screwdriver. Which do I run into needing a Phillips screwdriver that often? No, they're just some of the G Gundam kits in some perfect grades. But I occasionally work on some old kits, and it also when I need it for other things, it's nice to know where that screwdriver is. That Phillips, like it is come in handy when I've needed for other things to be like, oh, I know exactly where that is. It's in my toolkit. I'll pop that open there. Uh, let's see, what else I want to talk about today. Oh, well, we talked a little. I talked this on Twitter a little bit. Somebody was talking about a friend of mine was talking about being the president of their anime club in college and how that's still on their resume because why not? Which I thought was very fun. And then I talked about how I was not in an anime club because my college did not have one. Now you might think, Pat, why didn't you start an anime club? Well, if I had stayed in that school for more than just the 1 year, if I had decided to continue to study there, which I did not, I probably would have eventually started my own because I'm an industrious sort, and I'm sure that I would have made friends with enough people that watched anime, especially with like the fact that we could start torrenting at the time. Napster was a big deal, but people just were just starting to put up torrents of their fan subs. So we would have done okay. And I think I would have done all right with it. Now, I didn't end up joining or getting people to join because I instead was focused on um, fixing the problem that was freshmen were not allowed to audition for the short form improv group in my college. That's right. My short form improv group had this terrible belief that you had to hang out and go to the shows all your freshman year because freshmen wouldn't have taken it seriously enough to join the club and perform in the short form games. So they didn't let freshmen uh, audition, and they encouraged slash insisted that you go to all the shows and be an audience. And to me, that felt like forcing it, like guaranteed, like that makes it a bringer show. Like I am, like that's worse than a bringer show because you're not performing. Uh, yeah, take your lumps if we're gonna run. Yeah, it didn't feel right to me. I did not agree with it. I still don't agree with it. So you know what I did? I did the most Pat Baer thing possible. Uh, I started my own unofficial improv group because there was look, we didn't do any fundraising. We didn't charge any money. We didn't. We weren't. We didn't have. We weren't official. We weren't trying to be recognized. We didn't need to be on any council. We didn't need to do fundraising. We didn't need an advisor. We just wanted to do improv because there's no rule that says you can't go to a floor advisor, an RA, and say, "Hey, can we do an improv show? Like, I see there's a hole in your schedule on the calendar for the common room on this date. Could we do an improv show?" And they'd be like, "Oh, are you the improv club?" And we would go, "No, we're an independent improv group." And they would say, "Oh, okay." And I have 2 points of pride with this nonsense thing that I did. My first point of pride is that we did more shows than the official improv club. I booked more shows because, weirdly enough, we came back from Christmas break and we had a reputation of being a pretty fun short form improv show because we primarily focused on stuff from Whose Line Is It Anyway. We had other games that we did, and we always mixed them in, but we did what the audience might know, and an audience, especially in 1999 to 2000, doesn't know a lot of improv. So we did what we thought would be the most easily translatable to an audience that didn't know exactly what they came to see. And also, you don't have to do much for a college audience. A college crowd that they just kind of stumbled in on a show. They didn't even know they were going to see something. They're not going to stay that long. Uh, but you're making fun of the local mall, and you're doing very broad humor, and you're swearing a bunch. Certainly, you are definitely swearing quite a lot. Uh, you can end up with a pretty good little following. So we booked a lot of more shows. And then the other thing that I'm very proud of is that um, there was another freshman in the group that at the end of the year, I was like, "Hey, I'm not coming back to Albany next year. Uh, if you want to keep doing this, do it." You could also probably get it made into an official club because there were multiple clubs there were some things that were like uh, that had multiple versions of it. It's like if you want, you can try to make this official. I never did because uh, we all kind of agreed that we would stop doing it if it wasn't fun. And I was like, so you can keep doing it, and it became a club. I do not know if it is still one because I do not care about that school. Um, Groups versus clubs, yeah, dirty. So in our college anyway, not every college, but at least I would say specifically in the school that I was in, um, clubs had dues, and they could fundraise, and they had like you could ask for space on campus and receive free access to things. You could get an advisor, but you didn't necessarily need one. You could do activities that benefited the school, and it was a whole thing. Groups were unofficial things, like um, there was a hacky sack group in my school because There was a fountain, and most of the time of the year, the fountain did not have water in it. So they played in the fountain every day. That was a group, that was a loose association of people. It was not a club. They didn't need to be a club. So I formed an improv group, and then that group became a club the year after I left. And I do not know if it still continues, as I said, because I do not care about that school and do not pay it much mind. But I was very proud that it became an official improv club. Um, but yeah, different schools have different things, and there are some schools that do not want groups to exist. They want them to be official clubs, and you to have a charter, and you to have rules of conduct, and have like a list of members and all kinds of stuff. Um, but in in my school, we were just the improv kids that would show up and do improv sets wherever. We did stuff at like the student union, and we did a whole lot of improv wherever we could, wherever they would let us, basically. I'm probably gonna have to put some tack on this because the crown here is not staying on that well. But also, you can see the face has almost no definition because this is a high grade. You really got to get your markers out here. Our club advisor never showed up in 2 years I was a member. We didn't collect dues other than pizza fund, and we had a 32 wall screen to watch our Naruto fan subs every week. Hell yeah. Yeah, like I said, there was no anime club at my school. And I reiterate, if there had been one, I would have joined it. And if I had decided that that school was for me and that I was going to stick with that school, then I probably would have started up one. And I would have made it official where we paid dues so that we could, like buy stuff and buy fan subs and, you know, yeah, we would have been we would have been in a multimedia room. We would have found one that we could be in and be there officially and watch all our fan subs and do all that. I am somewhat bummed that I never did it, only because I know that it. I mean, here's the thing. Actually, legitimately, honestly, glad I didn't start one my freshman year and instead started the short form improv group, because if we had kept going, uh, 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 I might have stayed in that school, and that would have been bad for me because they reduced their theater program and stopped having it be a BA. So I wasn't so my major wasn't possible at the school anymore. So I was like, oh, well then I'm out of here because I want my major. Uh, we got to use a classroom and the projector. Heck yeah. To my knowledge, there was not an anime club while I was at USF. Yeah, I mean, Harold, that's totally plausible as well. Like, not every school had an anime club. Some schools weren't that cool. Ha ha ha. Take that, schools. No, I'm sure there were plenty of schools that were definitely, definitely knew enough not to let that happen. Uh, for a ballot from '04 to '06. Heck yeah. Yeah, no, um, the, uh, there was no anime club at the university at Albany. We did not have an anime club, but we did have uh, the Cross Gators, which was our short form improv group, named after the Cross Gates Mall because it was shaped. Hey, get this: the Cross Gates Mall was shaped like an X, and so we called ourselves the Cross Gators, and that was our improv team name, and it was popular. People liked that name because they understood what it was. Uh, Ran out of money, so not sure that. Yeah, I hear you. Um, there were no clubs or groups or anything at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, which is where I went. Uh, um, So when I went to the American Academy, there was no clubs or groups because it's not a. I mean, it's an acting program. There and everybody had jobs or other things going on, and nobody really hung out. Instead, every Sunday I went to the UCB Theater in New York to ASCAT with fellow students of mine. Um, we all went to go see improv shows. That was what you did. I mean, people did other things, but that's what we did. That's the reason that I ended up there. It's because I spent a lot of time watching improv when I should have been, I don't know, journaling. I never really, I hated journaling, so I never did it when I was supposed to. Still hate journaling. Don't make me journal. You didn't even have Cartoon Network on campus since 2000. I can't remember if we had Cartoon Network. We had some things. We had a movie channel, which was pretty good. We got a few things that were pretty cool on that. And I believe our movie channel did also have people had bought bootleg like VHS tapes in New York City and brought them back. And so I believe at one point our movie channel was just illegally showing things that were still in the theaters that they certainly should not have been showing. And that was pretty cool. Very wrong. But as I said, it's pretty cool. All right, so we got. So this is the fun thing about this kit. I'm now putting on the eyes, the chest eyes. I have to put the chest eyes on of our kit here because that is a true thing about this kit is that it has chest eyes. All right, so oops, and our crown here is definitely going to pop out a bunch. That is the thing I remember about seeing this kit. I didn't do a lot with this kit when it came out in the 90s because I didn't really build that much G Gundam stuff at the time. But I remember seeing this kit and knowing that it's pretty weirdly fragile because it doesn't make any sense. Like, so this is the chest. The chest is a face, and you can see that this is where the legs are. The legs are going to go in there. Like, none of this kit makes any sense. It does make sense, but it doesn't make any sense. It is wonderfully weird. And I am happy to build it. We'll take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. I want to finish up a couple of these steps. We're definitely close to finish this. We're going to start a real grade after this. That'll be fun to build as well. But we do need to get a few more pieces done before we get going on this. We need B40. Oh yeah, we'll take a pause for cause in a moment or two. Talk about ways you can support the stream if that's something you'd like to do. We had a bunch of raids come in, which was fantastic last stream, and so one of the problems, one of the issues with that was that I wasn't able to promote what we do here because I was busy talking to people. It was fine. So we'll do the proper, like, here's ways you can support the stream if you're so inclined. Kind of nonsense. Nope, this is wrong. Which ones are 45? Yeah, so we'll take a pause for the calls in a moment or two. I'm just trying to get these on here. Get the right ones on. Yeah, that's the right ones. These on like this. Okay, then this goes into this piece here. Because this does transform into a... It doesn't really transform. It's just it becomes more like a head at one point. Oops. Oh no. All right. So let's take our pause to the cause. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. Let the people know. Let it be seen who you are and what you're up to and all of that. Thank you so much for supporting me here at the Build with Bear Workshop. It does mean the world to me. Um, I'm going to quickly go through ways you can support the stream if you'd like to. Being a subscriber is a huge way. Uh, on was Saturday's stream. Saturday will be the last stream of the month. So yeah, on Saturday, someone's going to win a plethora of small Lego kits. I literally found 4 Lego kits that are kind of small that I wouldn't want to send separately, and I just packaged them all together in a box. And someone who's a currently subscriber who has not won before is going to win that. They're going to win the Manta Ray Bomber, the Golden Dragon, Ray from Star Wars Speeder, and a Samurai Mech. Those are all kind of smallish kits, and I just packaged it all together. So somebody who is a subscriber who hasn't won before is going to win that. And I do my best to kind of help people out with that. I have a Patreon. You could join my Patreon if being a subscriber here doesn't work for you. A plethora, yes. Um, uh, uh, Thanks. Now I have a scene from Three Amigos. There you go. Uh, um, but yeah, no, it's a great way to support the stream if you're interested in doing that. You're under no obligation to do so, of course. But if you'd like to, um, uh, you could also, oh yeah, you could gift a sub if you want to do some gift subbing. You want to get in on that action. You want to give some people subs who aren't already a subscriber, help them out that way. You're more than welcome to do that. Bits and coins, always appreciated. But yeah, I got a Patreon, and also, hey, a reminder to folks, they're going to start charging some people sales tax. Who's going to charge sales tax? We don't really know. It's kind of up to the states that are going to do it. I have to find out. Like, I honestly have to find out if my Q&A video counts as an exclusive, because I do a monthly Q&A video. Because if it does count as exclusive and people are getting charged sales tax, then I probably won't do that video anymore, because it's going to just cost people money, and I don't want to do that. Probably text threads. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like, I've been looking it up. I'm trying to figure out who's going to get charged sales tax for what, because it's because I don't deal in digital goods, but I do deal in videos, which might be digital goods. But most of it is just like messages and thank yous. So it's possible that that not a lot of people will get charged. So it's a weird thing. I'm not sure what's going to happen. It's very strange. Anyway, I've got other ways to support the channel if you'd like. I have an Amazon wish list, and you could join that wish list if you wanted to. You are under no obligation to do so, but if you would like to join my buy something off my wish list, I'll mention a couple things that got on there that you could buy. The next kit I'm going to be building, the real grade that I have here, came from my wish list. So I've got some Lego stuff on there. I've got some model kits. I've got some high grades and some master grades and a bunch of other things. And if you buy something off of that list, I will build it on stream. That is how that works. And it jumps the queue. So if you'd like to buy something from my wish list, feel free to do so. You're under no obligation, of course. Just being here is great. Thank you so much if you want to be here. For being here. If you want to be here. USA Gundam Store. It's another way. You could buy a gift card from that and send me the code. Then I'll build it on stream. That's another way if you don't want to buy something from Amazon. That would be great. Donations are always encouraged. And anything you donate, there's 3 ways to do it. Anything you donate while I'm doing the stream goes to me buying kits in the future. The future. Kits. Model kits in the future. So that's a great way to help me out. And I have a Discord. Join my Discord. It's nice. It's nice. Check it out. On Monday, I put up a video called Pat Bear's Anime Club where I talk about my pet peeves. And I try to keep it light. There's a couple things in there that aren't that light, but most of the time it's just like, man, I hate it when this happens in anime. Oh, I wish that this, trope didn't exist. That kind of thing. I'm just looking at some tropes and such. Um, and then what we got going on here? Oh yeah, Baering the List. I put up a new one yesterday. Baering the List is my ongoing um, series where I rank things using Tier Maker. It's a website, and I've been doing the Toonami stuff. This was 1999 to 2001. Did I forget to include the Big O, which came out in that era? Yes. Did I make sure that my video next week I start with the Big O? Yes. So don't worry about that. If you watch that video and you're like, where is the Big O? Why didn't you do that? I did eventually. I'm going to drink a little water. Now's a great time for you to have some water. We're going to get back to building in a moment, but have a drink of water. Stretch those arms, stretch those legs. The person that just renewed their subscription, feel free to put that notification in so we can all say thank you. I will say thank you right now. But yeah, if you use Twitch Prime, you have to manually renew. Feel free to let us know so we can say thank you. I did just get a sound notification there, but it didn't show up. I don't know. Streamlabs overlay didn't show up anything. Oh, there we go. We got a follow. Thank you very much for the follow. Hey, Ben. It's you. Ben, thank you so much for your support. Appreciate it very much, my friend. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Let's go back to the building. Oops, that's wrong. Ooh, that's spooky, guys. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong screen, and you just go there. Crazy Like Fox is here. Hi, Crazy Like Fox. Welcome. We're getting back to building. I'm also going to talk about anime and what I was watching since our last stream, which was on Monday. So we'll talk about that while I continue to work on the the Devil Gundam. There are no wrong buttons here. Yeah, I mean occasionally there are wrong ones. I did hit the one that is the display of the monitor that this is currently. Currently, my OBS is in, and so it did make a very strange effect where it just showed you my OBS for a brief second. This does not want to stay on, so I'm going to put it aside for a second until we finish assembly. Okay, so what did I want to say? Alright, so this goes on like this, and this goes in this. Okay, and then we got to attach a couple more pieces here. So anime, Tower of God. We are adding some stakes here. I am kind of going through the motions with this show. Like the everyday moments of the individual, like the action I think is interesting. I still don't really love the art style, and like some of the motivations, like now we're learning more about them, and that's kind of interesting. I think there's definitely a lot going on, and it'll be interesting to see more of what's going on. But I'm not like thrilled. I'm just not thrilled by it. I think it's good, but it's not great. I would love to give more of a detailed opinion on the show, but that is kind of where I'm at right now, which I'm like, yeah, it's a show. It's fine. The same can definitely be said for Are You Kidding Me? Or The Eighth Son, Are You Kidding Me? Which there were some interesting elements to this episode. We finally we got introduced to the girl that is in the intro video. The last member of the adventuring party, who is Dedere. So basically her character trait is she's one of those ones that doesn't really she's the kind of girl that doesn't show emotions. That seems a little stilted, but actually cares, but is kind of just a little bit of a weirdo. But as far as those types of characters go, hey, Is she tsundere? No? Great. Then I'm into it. Then I'm happy for her to be part of the squad, and I hope that she's a fun member. She's got a giant battle axe, and that's fun. I like that. I like that about her character. Basically, her whole body is fueled by mana, and it makes her super strong, but it also means that she consumes a lot of magic and needs to constantly eat and replenish, so she is a glutton. So she was following Well and our other heroes to see if they could provide for her, and she is now going to be a bodyguard and join the crew. And also, don't worry, if he wants to, he can marry her at some point, which is fine. Uh, the spear guy, who we know is pretty strong, but he was coming on way too strong. He was trying to be too much of a sorry, he was trying way too hard. Um, he is now gonna take care of their house because they're moving, because they're getting away from the guy who the people who have been trying to do bad things and take advantage of our hero and do wrong. Okay, so there's three poses for this kit. There's this pose here. Then there is the head version, and then there is the extended build version of it. Uh, or we can put the other parts on here, I guess. So let's really extend this thing out and see what this looks like. Complete and utter nonsense of this kit. Really flesh this out. G Gundam was silly. Yeah, it's complete nonsense. Uh, yeah, this is a kit from 1995. It is definitely classified as old school. I had never built it back in the day. I've always been interested in this kit, so it was a pleasure to go and when I saw it on a site, and I was like, oh, all right, well I'll build that. That's nonsense. Yeah, and then this goes basically between the legs there. I'm gonna put the face piece on here. It's just a piece. It's a wonderful piece of nonsense. Do all their kits go in price? So it depends on how they were mass produced, and then sometimes sites get deals on some older kits. Uh, if it ended up being a rare kit, if it was like there were only a certain number of them built, then certainly that affects the price. Uh, but some kits were so mass produced at the time because the belief was that they would never go down in value, which is a terrible thought. That sometimes kits, they definitely like you definitely still get them at a pretty reasonable rate, especially like a high grade. Some of the master grades that are most expensive were just done in limited quantities. There just weren't that many of them. All right, so now I'm going to go and pop this up and take this smaller piece out here and put the larger one in. Now it can be extra extended. The oldest kit. Um, it is probably there was a kit I made that is from 19. So this is from 1995, and that's probably is the oldest kit I've ever built. Most of the really old kits I've done are reissues or re-releases of kits that are just older, but like let's see, what is the Char Perfect Grade? When did that come out? I think that was 99, because that's an old kit. Uh, yeah, Charzaku 2 Perfect Grade. I don't remember what year that came out in, but that is one of the oldest kits I've built. Uh, but I think that was like 1999. So it is definitely like a G Gundam kit, which are pretty dang old. Because even the Zaku 2s that I've done, some of the master grades, some of those older kits, those are reissues or re-releases. Like they're upgrades, and they've kind of figured out some of the things they wanted to do with those kits by the time I got them. Uh, but I'm gonna. This kit is now in its giant big glory, its wonderful nonsenseness, its loveliness. I'll take a couple photos of it. Uh, but yeah, the Devil Gundam, the Gundam that comes out of a Gundam head, is pretty fantastic and nonsensical. I'm gonna take a couple of photos. It doesn't come with any weapons because what does this thing need with weapons? Uh, uh, so Blue, I do have some displayed stuff. I have some of the kits that I've built over the years here on doing the stream. Some anime stuff, not anime stuff. Uh, some model kit stuff like my perfect grades are up there. I have some desk sites on display, and then I have some Lego stuff on display as well. But I don't have a lot of room to display things right now. So most of the kits that I build go back in their box, and they wait for the day where I can send them off to subscribers and kind of share the love a bit. Um, but a few kits do survive, do get into display. Occasionally, there are things that I got all these small little kits of Tony Chopper in vehicles that combined into one giant Tony Chopper from One Piece. That's on display because it's great. Like, no, I'm keeping my Tonys. Like, my Tony Choppers, they're staying with me. All right, we got to take one more photo of it, kind of in weird head mode. That's important because that's important to me, is that we capture the head mode version of this kit. Just wonderful nonsense. And trying not to touch the crown, which seems to be a problem. And then this flips up, and these flip back. Oops, that came off. That's okay. And then technically, when this happens like this, it's kind of like it has a head. It's kind of like it's a complete Gundam head with a small Gundam peeking out up top of it. The Devil Gundam is weird. As I said, G Gundam swung for the fences, y'all. They went for it. It was trying a thing. Did it succeed? I don't know, but it definitely tried. Let me try to get this back in here. All right, now I can take a photo of it in its weird head mode. I'm going to hold it because it's just so weird. Head mode. You can watch me take photos. Hooray. Great. Okay. Complete and utter nonsense. What a wonderfully weird little kit. This was a fast build. I knew it would be because it is a high grade. And those aren't always those don't take too long to do now and again. We put that in there. Back in its box. And then it will someday end up in somebody's home, I guess. I'll send it out with the Noble Gundam, maybe. Oops, forgot a piece. The neck. The torso, I should say. All right, so now it's time to build a real grade. We got to switch this input over here. Go to Zagok. Zagok. We're building Char Zagok. It's a 2014 real grade. Folks that are unfamiliar with real grades, I'll talk to you about them very briefly. Real grades are an attempt to basically be the 144 scale version of a master grade. Whereas we just built a 144 scale high grade, and that obviously took a lot of corners, a lot of stickers, a lot of this giant piece is the legs. That the attempt was to do a 144 scale small grade. Now, this also, you're going to end up with a lot of your B, which is a lot of these kind of rubberized pieces to make the skeleton. You'll see some of this in Iron-Blooded Orphan's Full Mechanics line, where you build the skeleton first and you build around it. You could just assemble a full skeleton of this kind of different plastic that has these like interesting snap parts to it. They bend a lot. You're going to take a piece and like basically make the whole arm and then put all this armor around it. That is another staple of a real grade. Real grades do have gimmicks to them. Sometimes it's transformation, or it's just some design that makes it kind of unique. But yeah, you can look at this here. If we wanted to, we could build the Zagok with just like the skeleton and then the claws. Uh, this is a very old, mobile suit it is Char's, and it's so that way that's why it's red, because it's part of his squadron. Um, I love that there are so many different reds in here. I just want to we'll check. We're gonna get into building, right? But I want to just point out how many different shades we're dealing with. Oh, that's basically the same. Yeah, that's basically the same. But like all of these are all different weird reds that are all coming together, and it makes her a very striking looking kit. It's also just weird looking, and I genuinely think that is one of the things that is missing from modern Gundam is that uh, if it's not a Gundam, it doesn't look cool, and that's not a universal truth in the modern era of mobile suits. That's not to say that every Gundam series doesn't take time with the things that aren't Gundams, but it does kind of feel that way to me anyway. And that is a generalization, but I believe it is an accurate one. Um, that in that they basically do not spend much time working on the other cool kits, the other cool mobile suits to make them just as cool. Oh, I have to change. I'm going to change this to say Zigok RG because that's what we're doing. Doing a real grade. I tend to prefer to do master grades on stream. I tend to prefer to do the 1/100 scale in general if I can avoid it, or if I can have my preference. I like the 1/100 scale. I prefer a master grade or to doing high grades. And they don't make high grades 1/100 scale much anymore anyway. Um, and that is only a preference, really, because I'm streaming. If I was building this on my own, I got no problems with that. No problems with that at all. But because we're doing it on stream, I do have a little bit. Going back to talking about anime, just to continue my thoughts, get that all out there. Eight Sun. One of the things that was very funny was the magic circles that they had the chance to use, where if you use the mana you have and your imagination, you can basically make anything. Look, is there a dumb panties thief thing? There's a panties joke going on? Yes. It is very dumb. It is somewhat unlike the show. It is weird that it's there and not great. But it is very fun that the thing he's wished for the most is tuna. He wanted tuna. He wanted tuna, raw tuna, and then he got soy sauce so that he could have raw tuna and soy sauce and have sushi. And then he had a bunch of people over for a party and introduced them all to sushi. And they were like, damn, this is good. And it's just very funny that this guy was like, well, if I can use my magic with this circle to create anything I want, I know what I'm going to get. And what I'm going to get is a bunch of tuna. And it's very odd. It's a very odd choice. Um, Overall, pretty good episode of the show. It again is I will say it is a perfectly fine isekai. Look, as far as isekais go, where there's an overpowered main character and he is engaged to be married to definitely 3, possibly now 4 ladies, it is very good in the scheme of isekai. as a show, I mean, it could be better, but it's pretty good. Um, I think focusing on the side characters is pretty strong. The focus it's given, I think, is pretty good. I do wonder what our knight guy, our sword guy, is going to do now that there is now a better muscle person out there on the team. I assume that we'll have some sort of interaction with him feeling inadequate now that there's an overpowered lady on the squad. But yeah, it's just an okay show. It's a perfectly okay show. What are you going to do? So many shows have been delayed. They're delaying Slime, and that's we all knew it was coming, right? So many shows are being delayed that shows that were coming out later this year haven't gotten started yet, so of course they're going to get delayed. But it did hit me pretty hard when I read that that time I got reincarnated as Slime season 2 was going to be delayed. Because basically in October we were going to get the first half of season 2. Then we were going to get the Slime Diaries, which is the side series, in January, and then in April we were going to get the second half of season 2. Now it's being postponed until January, I believe, but it will still continue. That I don't think they're going to do all 26 in a row or 24 in a row. So that is a bummer because I really like that time I got reincarnated as slime, and I'll be interested to see the second season. So that was a bummer. So it's like if things are out and you can watch them, like great, enjoy the anime that's actually available and you can check out. Kakushigoto, Kakushigoto, uh, was not a sad end of the episode. It was another episode where one storyline was the whole plot, which they do on occasion. Sometimes they will do a bunch of short little things. This one was all one episode. It was cute. It was about Christmas parties and this kind of ongoing joke about she doesn't know Hime doesn't know what a Cinderella or doesn't know what a chandelier is. She thinks it's a disco ball, which obviously it is not. And then she eventually sees a chandelier, and then she sees one but she thinks it's too nice, so she thinks it's a Cinderella because that's kind of like what the gowns look like. And it's a cute little joke. And then later, she sees an even bigger one, and it's very nice. It was overall a sweet little episode. More stuff about manga and mangakas and what manga artists look like and act like. That was pretty fun. Uh, and a little bit of some digs at some characters. And then the last shot is um, that a bunch of people had left, and we see one of the assistants from the main guy is working at a store. He's working at a bookstore instead of being a manga artist. And there's some sort of thought of that these manga artists all disappeared. What happened? And then we kind of know what happened, but maybe we don't know what happened, but we probably know what happened. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm just happy that this episode didn't make me sad because it's coming. They took a breather from just making me sad. This very silly, cute show that is just overwhelmingly going for my heart. Took a week off from just blatantly being really sad and just to continue their storyline, the main storyline, and not the future storyline. And it's like, okay. Um, oh yeah, we got to put the propellers in here. The Zegok has propellers. It's got little propeller blades. Obviously, they don't. You know, we don't put a battery in there that doesn't fly, but I love that. That is a lovely detail. You know what? You're not going to get that in a high grade. I'll tell you that. That's definitely that is definitely a real grade thing to be like to put the little fans in there instead you would just have this piece here. Oh, and then I hit the random button on Crunchyroll, and somebody asked me, I can't remember if it was on Twitter or here in the stream. Do you just watch the first thing that you get? And the answer is no. I click random a bunch because sometimes it's they're offering me something that I've already seen before, and so I don't want to watch it again. Or sometimes they're just offering me a thing that I'm like, I have no interest in this anime, so I am not going to watch it because whatever. But in this case, it was from 2016, the Phantasy Star Online 2, the animation. Did I watch all 12 episodes? Of course I did not. Good night, all. Have a good rest of the stream, Pat. Well, thank you very much, Harold. Appreciate that. Hope to see you on Saturday. Take it easy, my friend. Thanks for being here. Um, uh, so you may wonder, Pat, did you watch all of the that? And the answer is no. I watched the first two episodes. It seems fine. It's a lot of the first episodes is a person in the real world and then a person in the digital world. And it seemed very much like an anime you would make about Phantasy Star Online. I did not watch three episodes dirty. I only watched the first two. Um, so it is not a full, like, watch three, which, a lot of people say that's what you got to do. You got to give it three. I don't know if I'm going to keep watching it. It seemed fine. It seemed like an anime based on a video game that had come out 4 years before the anime came out that didn't know. It felt very much like a video game is popular enough. It was also, when it came out, it was the anniversary of Phantasy Star as a service. Uh, do you think you'd appreciate the deep lore if you played the game? No, Blue. I think that it. I don't know if the anime appreciates the deep lore of Phantasy Star. Uh, it it felt like a serviceable it felt like a serviceable like anime of like, oh, how do we make this an anime? Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, we'll do this and this and this, and we'll add these things, and we got a fun character. We got a couple good characters. We got some good voice actors, and we'll make it work. Um, but yeah, Dirty says it was serviceable. Yeah, I mean, like from what I watched, I was like, okay, I can understand why I didn't watch this in 2016. And also, uh, something awkward kids. Yeah, right. Also, I will say, in its favor, a plus to the series is that like I think that the digital and computer generated the CG animation mix pretty dang well from what I've seen. Maybe it gets worse, but from what I looked at, it did not make me unhappy. Uh, so that's nice because every once in a while, like some of that CG just is woof. I think the PSO2 that came out on Hulu was more lore than this one. Okay, yeah, yeah, because there's like a different show that there were multiple. Yes, I believe there's an animation that is like basically the series, the video game as an anime, um, kind of like what Persona 4 the anime did, and I never saw Persona 5 the anime because I just never watched it. But Persona 4 the anime really does like attempt to um, give you a highlight reel of the video game. And then Golden, the second series, gets to do all of the extra stuff that was added to the first series, but also adds in a bunch of other goofiness. Also, Persona 4 the animation adds another like a support character um, to the show. I would say if you can track down Persona 4 the animation, if you ever played Persona 4 and you never saw the anime, I think it's worth checking out. I think it was pretty dang good. There's one two-part episode in particular that's wonderful. That's like it's an exploration of all the side stories from the show because there are a lot of all the side characters, Mysterious Fox and the like, and that's handled actually like really fun because it is Nanako trying to figure out why her big bro is doing a bunch of stuff. Um, oh yeah, let me see who's got what. Because there's two Because there's two Persona 4 anime. Because as I said, there's Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden. Uh, Crunchyroll has five. Yeah, it has Persona 4. It has Persona 4 The Golden, and which is the second one, which is like 12 episodes and pretty good. And then does I think Hulu had Persona 4? I think the the first series. And I don't know if Hulu has it. Not Hulu. Funimation has it. I don't think they do. Uh, but yeah, if you want to watch Persona 4 Golden on Crunchyroll, you have to search for Persona 4 without a space, which is nonsense. And I think Persona for the regular series is only available on Hulu maybe, and maybe Netflix has the dub. I don't remember. I apologize for not remembering. Uh, yeah, the Golden. Yes, the Golden is the sequel series, much like Golden was the update for the Vita with a new character and a truncated version of the plot, but a new truer ending, a true ending. Alright, I don't know. Oh, there's some. Trying to see here. I'm sure. Having some issues getting this piece on here, so I apologize for taking my sweet time with this. There we go. All right, and then this goes into this. A lot of detail here for 144 scale already, and we're just working on the legs here, the feet. All right. Uh, Dorohedoro released on Netflix today. Yes, I have not gotten Netflix yet. I will. I go like just generally get it when I want to watch something. So I will be talking about Dorohedoro on Saturday, because I will have watched by then. Tomorrow and Saturday I will have watched a lot of episodes. Let's just say. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to legally watch Dorohedoro because I could have gotten some rips of the episodes as they came out, but I did not. Uh, have you dabbled in the Crunchyroll but old? Um, retro whatever, retro crush. A little bit. So the thing that I was bummed about with that was some of the older anime they had there. I was hoping that they had licensed the subtitled versions, because there are some shows that came out dubbed in the U.S., but the DVDs or the laser discs, or there were subtitled VHS versions, and there were less of them, but they did the work. So like but they don't have that. Um, so like I'm not gonna watch Ronin Warriors again, but I would watch a couple episodes of subtitled Ronin Warriors. I've never seen it subbed. I'd be interested to check that out. As like in but I'm not really interested in watching the dub and of it. Um, I will admit that I have not fully explored because when I first looked at it, it was only available as an app and not as a desktop client. So I watched a couple random things on my iPad and then called it a day because I would much rather watch anime on my computer monitor or my TV. Um, and at that time, I couldn't do that. So I I should give Retro Crush another look and like a proper look. Does anybody know, did it come out with a desktop client, or can you watch it in Chrome or Firefox yet? Do you need to use the app? Does anybody know? If anybody knows, let me know. If you don't know, that's fine. Um, but yeah, overall, I was just like, I'm more interested in the idea of it than I am in actually checking it out. But I should just like I'm not on right now. My iPad Mini is just my Touch Portal app, which, folks, I talked about this before. I really do enjoy Touch Portal. I think that it is a cool service. Um, right now, you only have a 2x4 grid, so you only have 8 buttons you can use for free, and then you could pay for more. I have not paid for the service yet right now because it does serve my needs. But basically, what I've done is you get the program for your computer, and then you open it up and you program what you want it to do. You get you if you use I think Streamlabs it natively works. I think regular OBS you have to uh, like basically download a WinSock adapter thing or something like that, and it'll work. And then the app that you use, which you can use on a phone, uh, or you can use you can use it on a iPad like I do. You basically get Touch Portal, and then the Touch Portal on the app syncs with your PC program that's running or Mac program that's running. Hey, John Robert, welcome, welcome. So you sync those two together, and then I on my iPad right now can mute audio. I can switch between sources. I only have a few showed up here, but I can. Ooh, I'll be right back. Uh, I can switch between stuff like that. And then if I wanted to, I could also like start and stop streaming and start and stop recording. I have not done that on here because I don't want to accidentally stop the stream or accidentally start a stream. So I like having that as like a thing I have to do in OBS. But otherwise, it's like very versatile. You can add effects in there. Is it better than a Stream Deck? Probably not. Uh, is a Stream Deck like more of a versatile program? Pretty much assuredly. But am I enjoying it? Yeah, I totally am. I think like it does what I want it to do. Really, what I want it to do most is I want to be able to mute my microphone without having to move my mouse and go over to the thing. I just want to be able to hit, and now you can hear me. Yeah, I just want to be able to do that. That's really all I want. Uh, all right, let's get a little bit more done with this. I should again promote my next stream will be on Saturday. It'll be the last build stream of the month. So if you're a subscriber and you have not won before, you could win a bunch of 4 Lego sets that I've built on stream, smaller Lego sets that I've packaged up together and will mail to you. I have disassembled all of them, so you will have some things to build. But yeah, if you're a subscriber that has not won before, you're eligible for that. That's on Saturday. Sunday at 3 p.m., I will be guesting on Loading Ready Runs Animal Crossing stream. Kathleen has invited me to join her crew. They do a weekly Animal Crossing focus stream where they go to some of their community members' islands, and they have a guest showcase their islands. Now, I don't have my own island because I'm not playing Animal Crossing, but I'm a big fan of Animal Crossing and a big fan of Animal Crossing streams. So I'm just going to be a fun guest that comes in to hang out, and I'm very much looking forward to that. That's this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, which is noon Pacific. So yeah, I'm coming in for that, and that's going to be very fun. All right, so what we're going to do here. We've got to bend a bunch of things, it looks like. I don't know quite what they want me to do here. Sorry. I'm looking at all this. What's going to do a bunch of things here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited that they invited me to do it. So that is on Sunday. And then Monday, normal stream as always. And next Wednesday, no bonus Pat Baer stream because I'm guesting on another stream. I will be able to promote that in the future. I cannot promote it right now because they have not told me that I can do so. But when I can promote that bonus stream that I'm going to be on somebody else's guest stream next Wednesday, it's going to be real fun and funny. I can at least tell you that it is a comedy panel. So, or yeah, I'll be doing a comedy thing. So check that out. And then I don't know if I have anything else to tell you all. Gotta put a sticker on this. Once we put stickers on things. So I'm gonna put a sticker on here. Hmm. All right, I'm gonna put a sticker on this piece here. Redacted streams. Yeah, I don't know if I can promote that stream yet, but I will definitely on Monday be able to tell you about the stream I'm gonna do next Wednesday. I just right now don't know if it's okay for me to say because they don't often promote their guests too far in advance. So, but it will be very cool, and I am grateful that they invited me. And it will honestly, what it will hopefully mean is we might have a few new faces join us on streams, which is always like part of the reason why I agree to do bonus stuff is because my friends ask me to be on their things, and that's really fun. But genuinely, if it means that a few people who don't know what we're about and what we do here want to come hang out and find a new stream for themselves to enjoy, that's awesome. That's also why I raid at the end of every stream, which we'll be doing in a few minutes, is because I want to share with you some cool people out there that are doing cool things. And so you can watch them and check out, and maybe you can find a new stream that you like, because it's a hellscape out there, and we've got to enjoy ourselves where we can and find moments of levity when there's levity and good times when there's good times because, well, we have to be aware of what's going on and be active participants uh, in some of the awfulness. We can at least take time to enjoy it and realize that we're not ignoring the issues all the time. Sometimes we're just taking some time for a little self care. Uh, that feels important. Even if it's not, it does feel important. So we will take some time to smell the roses and enjoy ourselves here and there, and then do the work. All right, I'm going to attach these pieces here, three pieces, and then we're going to call it a night because I have been working uh, for a bit here. It's almost time for this stream to end. As always, thank you for watching the Build with Bear Workshop. I hope you enjoyed yourselves tonight. I hope checking out that silly Devil Gundam made you happy. I hope that you uh, are going to come back on Saturday as we continue with this build and continue working on this real grade, which we'll be doing for, I would say, a few weeks. This not weeks, but a few streams into next week. This will be a full three streams. So I imagine like Saturday, Monday, and then Thursday we might finish this up because there's a lot of small integral pieces, and you know I'll figure out this right leg and make some mistakes as we go, and then when I build the left leg, I'll be like, oh, now I understand what you wanted from me. Oh, now this makes more sense. But right now I'm like, kind of figuring this out. I think let's see what's going on. Um, because that's part of it, is figuring these things out as we go. And then this needs to go here. See? What did I just learn? I just learned that this little piece, this tiny little piece right here, I was supposed to put in first. And I didn't. So now I'm going to try to separate this apart and do it first. There you go. Lesson learned. Already learning. We're already learning and grooving. Also, I definitely got to stop streaming soon because it is so hot in here. And I got to turn these hot lights off so that we can keep working uh, on this kit in the future. So the next time we work on this kit, I will have a fan going, and that will be heavenly. Or I'll have a heavier fan going. I'll have a window air conditioning going. And that will mean a lot. It might mean that you'll hear some street noise, but I will do my best to mitigate that as much as possible. Always try to. One of the nice things about having not having a room mic and instead having a headset mic is that I can kind of, most of the time anyway, do a pretty good job of limiting how much sound escapes, how much background sound you hear. All right, I'm going to have to figure this out. Yeah, I got it. Okay. All right, we got a little bit done here. We're going to do way more with this kit. Obviously, we've got way more to go with it, but we're going to call it quits there. So I'm going to go and find a stream for us to raid, because that is what we do here. The Build with Baer is that we go about our business and we find things to raid so that we can share the love with our fellow streamers. Mute that. Let's see who's streaming. Well, speaking of Animal Crossing, let's go and we're gonna go raid my friend Kate. Fantastic, lovely streamer. Kate rules, and Kate's playing Animal Crossing, and Kate is the best. So we're gonna go raid Kate. Thanks so much for watching the stream. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. If you don't feel like joining on the raid, don't worry about it. If you want to join the raid, come along. It'll be good. As I said, my next stream's on Saturday, and we're going to keep working on this kit. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. Thanks, everybody.